Now I'd like to welcome Yochai Corem. He's the founder and CEO of Cyberint. Thank you so much for joining me today. So how does it happen? The whole world is speaking of cyber for so many years, and yet we are seeing such a big attack with so many companies being attacked. Nothing was done? Nobody studied any lesson?
You just understand how complex it is to solve this problem while we try to be more digital. Threat actors, as we like to call them, try to make money out of problems and mistakes that everyone are doing. In this case, this is what we call a supply chain attack, where Kaseya, the company is creating products that are then distributed to other companies, and when they are able to find a problem, a vulnerability in this product and change how it works, they actually are able to create a vessel to transfer the ransomware, the ransom software, into thousands of
to all of the clients of the supply chain supplier. But we've seen such attacks in America and in Israel, I remind you, and yet they should have learned a lesson.
Well, we are only humans, which means we are making mistakes, and these mistakes exactly are what the threat actors are trying to find. This group that are targeting or are in the headlines of this attack, REvil, is an organized crime. They're a business. They have tens, if not hundreds of people trying to find this one weak spot that they can get into an attack like the one happening here. This is a unique situation where they invested a lot of time to find what we call a 0 day. 0 day is a vulnerability that there's no patch, no one is aware of it. Investing time to enter into the software and thus distribute it.
And how sophisticated have they become, those criminal groups? We're seeing many of them in Russia, which brings suspicions whether it's backed from the government or not, but obviously they're very, very good.
They're excellent, and when we are tracking them, in Cyberint, we are tracking them in the darknet. We are collecting information from the darknet, and we actually see all kinds of posts that they're trying to recruit people. And they have an affiliation program, so if you are able to have a successful ransomware attack as a member of this group, you'll get some money back. So they're getting the brightest minds that do not care not to sleep well at night, getting money. And in this specific event, I guess they spend months in trying to find this one vulnerability and get in.
So you in Cyberint, what do you do to stop such attacks?
What we're trying to achieve is early warning of problems that could be used to achieve such a successful attack. In many cases that we see in Cyberint in Israel, for example, this was one FTP server that was mistakenly left open by an employee that left the company. Similar to that, there are hundreds of cases every day of passwords that are being leaked, of servers that are kept open mistakenly, of cloud services that are not well secure because we're trying to move quickly to the cloud and we're not using it effectively. So we are trying to identify what is your attack surface and where there are weak spots, and B, we're collecting information from the open, deep, and dark web, collecting all the chatter of the cyber criminals and telling an organization, hey, now they're speaking about you. Hey, now someone is selling credentials for $6 in Russian market in the darknet. If you're able then to change the password of this user that is being leaked,
you've blocked yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
In local, speaking of Israel, how vulnerable are we?
I would like to say that sometimes we are not as protected as we'd like to think. I think the state of Israel is investing a lot of efforts to create the awareness. I can ask you and other viewers today, how many of you have two-factor authentication in your personal Gmail, Facebook, or WhatsApp? I can see on a daily basis tens of people that complain that their WhatsApp is being, taken over by threat actors. So with this, we can understand there's so much more to do in order to reduce the chance of being hacked.
By education of the people, of the companies, etc.
Yeah, just yesterday, I had a call with the CEO of a company that suspect they're in attack, and I asked him, who else knows your Gmail password? Do you have a second factor to your Gmail password? Some kind of SMS that you received in someone trying to access your account? No.
And the answer would be that most of us, both companies and private people, would do something after we were attacked.
Of course, after everyone are happy to invest. When I'm showing an organization that they have information out there, no, it's not critical, it's not relevant, etc., etc.
Yochai Corem, CEO of Cyberint, thank you so much for joining me today.